fact, most of the Earth's crust consists of solid oxides, and our starting map for Game 1 is no different. But speaking of great chemical combinations, how about tonight's matchup? We've got double fan faves going head to head. That's right, we've got Byun versus Zest. And with a small map like this, I feel like we just put them in a metal cage. That's what it is. Oxide is the Starcraft equivalent of a cage match. And to start things off, Zest is going to go for the Reaper block position. His gateway goes down. Byun is sealing off his ramp with his racks. Although that's standard operating procedure for Terran, I've actually seen him do otherwise. There's the gas for Terran. Oh, no gas for Protoss so far. And Zest is banking up minerals. We might be witnessing a very quick expand. Yeah, he's going up to 400. That's what I love about Zest. He's not an off-the-wall creative like Haz, but he is a guy who pushes the meta. He's always looking to bring us the next hot build. Okay, there's his gas. He's better than the rest. He is Zest!
Current world rank 13.
Zest puts down his core, and the racks is gonna complete. But it's not a Reaper for Byun. He goes with the Marine. He is racking up the minerals for that expand. There it goes down. And once again, another perfectly good Reaper block. Whoa! It's a proxy pylon for Zest, stashed at the third base. Super fast intro in 3, 2, Byun!
Current world rank 14.
I thought we were going to be looking at a proxied Stargate, but it's going to be a second gateway. I believe this is a new 2021 build we've been seeing Protoss bust out on Terrans. If there's a new strategy, we shouldn't be surprised that Zest is at the forefront. Warp gate research is started. There's no tech choice for Protoss, other than the choice of bludgeoning your opponent with tier 1 units. A chrono-boosted adept is out on the map now. I'll be honest, I'm not very familiar with how this works exactly, or how Terran defends it, but I'm pretty stoked to see it in action. Zest is making a second adept back at home. Byun's going for the 1-1-1 build, squeezing out a single Hellion. He's got his reactor on his barracks. I infer that once warp research is done, Zest will warp in from here, and he's about to go up to 3 gates. This adept is just acting like a normal scouting adept, trying to conceal all the monkey business. He's not at all surprised or disappointed that Byun slammed the depot wall on him. No, Byun's Hellion's gonna leave to go scout. He probably wanted that at home. Or maybe he's better off countering because there won't be a lot of defense on Zest's side of the map. So adept number 1 is gonna link up with adept number 3. Adept number 2 is making his way down south on the map right now. Warp gate transformation is underway. Oh, Byun is making the bunker. That's good. If he didn't have that, I was worried this was going to turn into a bop. Oh, it's a stalker warp in 3 adepts, 3 stalkers. Oh, they come so fast. The bunker is not done. Byun's investing in a Banshee with cloaks. Byun only has 7 Marines to his name. He has to retreat up his ramp. He's already lost 4 SCVs. I think this might be a quick game. Byun's going to have to sack his natural at least. Oh, Zest is going to go after the reactor. The tech lab on the factory is not yet done. We're a long way from tanks. The reactor's going to burn down. He needs to get an SCV on it. No, Zest gets the snipe. The Marines have killed the Stalker and the Adept, and I do believe the Hellion is attempting a counteroffensive. Banshee is out. Byun doesn't have cloak just yet. He's got to be careful. He saves the Banshee, but Zest has increased the Stalker count. He's going after the expansion. Byun's already lost all the workers at his natural. 9 SCV kills, but a tank is on the way. Byun sends his Banshee north to counter. Zest saw it sneak away. He's making a pair of shield batteries. And he started a robo. He's worried about the possibility of cloak, and he is right. Oh! Byun's tank is serving an eviction notice. Zest says no can do. It's a minimum of 2 weeks. The natural command center is doomed. Oh, Byun's gonna try to save it with a pack of SCVs. And his cloaked Banshee has found a wedge where the shield battery doesn't reach. Oh my god, the command center did not die. Byun saved it. The stalkers are pulling out. And now the Banshee is trying to get vengeance for Terran. The shield battery is making that hard though. Zest stalkers are just hanging around waiting for that observer to finish. Hurry! The paint job doesn't have to be perfect. Just spit it out. The observer doesn't need the fuzzy dice. Just launch it. It's here. Byun really wants to save his Banshee. But what he wants and what he gets are two different things. Oh, and he even had to resort to a call-down depot. Zest seizes the moment to expand to his third base, the lateral third, and he's about to warp in a Twilight Council. A very nice synergy with his stalkers and abundant gateways. Byun's gonna finish the bunker he wish he had for the original fight, but Zest is not warping in a second wave. Really though, it's the high ground Terran tank that is the center of the Terran defense right now. Big time add-on switches for Byun. He's gonna start up Stim Pack and he's got a second tank in production. Oh, and he's got Banshee 2 and 3 sneaking up the left-hand side. It's another expensive investment, but I like the thinking behind it. If Zest is relying on shield batteries to bail out his probes, you'll find them very ineffective against double Banshee. They get that one-shot kill, so there's nothing to heal. We see that Zest is going for a mini gateway explosion. He's adding 3 more to take it up to 6, and he's adding the Zealot leg upgrade and +1 attack with his forge. No eBay for Byun. He hasn't been able to afford it. Here comes the double Banshee strike. He is murdering probes. 5 dead in the blink of the eye. Zest with the defensive warp-in. His observer is clicked on the Banshee. Zest is gonna box the Banshees in. They are gonna be trapped. Byun is gonna lose a Banshee. He could lose them both here. He does. He did get 8 SCV kills in his initial swath of destruction. He's actually only down 3 workers. And somehow he's ahead on army. He's even out-mining Zest. And that's being down a base. I think that's the power of mules. Zest, though, is getting himself a Battle Duck, a Templar Archive. He's gonna add in Archons to the mix. That'll give him some beefy units to really resist that Terran bio. Because Stim is about to finish. Zealot Charge has finished first, though. And Blink is next on the research list. Byun with the scan on the main. He sees the Templar Archive warping in. He sees a warp prism being made at the Robo. And warp gates 7 and 8. It's not clear if Zest started researching Storm before or after the scan wore out. Oh, Byun just canceled his bunker. He's moving out. That is not going to go unnoticed by Zest's observer. Remember, Zest still has that proxy. He's gonna see Terran clearing out. Oh, he's also gonna see him pulling the boys. Yes, Zealots, this would be a good time for you to counterattack. Go, 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 go. Zest just needs to hold this. But wow, Byun does have the bigger army. And Byun has a chance to hit before Storm and Blink complete. The numeric upgrade advantage, though, is gonna belong to Protoss. And typically it's gonna be Terran who has that first. Zest buying time with force fields. With that SCV pull, he's completely outmining his opponent. Time is absolutely in his favor. Zest is trying to add 2 more shield batteries at his third. Here comes Byun. He goes right at the cannon. Byun shuts it down. Oh, but Byun bought enough time for Storm. 17 SCV kills. Zest warping in 6 more Zealots. Is it enough to get past that Terran tank wall? It certainly might be if he catches Terran resetting his tanks. Oh, Zest actually brought his proxy Zealots back to try to sandwich Byun. And Byun is in so much trouble. He is down 34 workers. He is down a base. Now he's down army. Oh, GG! And now he's down a game. Zest really showing us the power of this newfangled Protoss gateway attack. This would be why all the cool kids are doing it. I'm still pretty new to it, but I can see why it's effective against that 1-1-1 build. I think if Protoss goes for this and Terran's actually done that triple Rax build, then Terran just steamrolls it. But the 1-1-1 Destiny Cloudfist build has been around forever. And if a basic 2-gate proxy rush was the total counter move, I feel like we would have discovered this years ago. I'm thinking that if Byun gets his bunker up, this is a different game. He then holds off long enough to get his siege tank out. The other reason why I think this build is suddenly finding proliferation is that historically when Terran was doing the 1-1-1 build, they were going Reaper. And if Protoss rushes, the Reaper is able to counter and do a lot of damage to those probes. But here's where I blame this guy, a certain pro headed for the military. Stats is credited with recently teaching the Protoss community that if you keep a shield battery in your main, you don't actually need any defense. You can send everything forward to attack, and then if you get countered, the shield battery will buy you enough time so you can warp in your defense. And so what we're seeing is the stats shield battery defense now being combined with new ideas for offense. It's a really interesting time to be a Protoss player in the meta right now. Anyway, that's my initial impression of what we just saw. I need to see it a lot more before I can really speak about it competently. But you know me, if I see something new, I just want to show it to you guys. And I also kind of want to show you the next game too. So let's get to game 2 and see what that will bring. Adjutant, if you would please.
The game begins now.
It's always kind of weird how people sleep on Zest. It's almost disrespectful. The dude's a winner, a Katowice finalist. But people love to point out that now that he's older, his macro is slipped. They like to post games where his mineral count has gotten unacceptably high. But the bottom line is the dude gets the W, and I would argue he is the best Protoss in the world. Now I know the Trap fans are going to have something to say about that. But hey, the World Championship at Katowice is when it counts. Anywho, it's going to be the Reaper block position for Zest to open this game up. Notably, last game Byun didn't actually make a Reaper. And we've been seeing games where Terran's really been able to abuse that Reaper block position. If you get vision, you can shell it with tanks. And you have to watch out for our Terran player. He's the one-man army, and as the Highlander says, there can be only Byun! Zest has got his gas at the normal timing. Doesn't look like we'll see the shenanigans we saw in game 1. Instead, we're gonna see a new set. It's Byun with the depot block. Remember, you're not fully clean unless it's Zest!
You're not fully clean unless you're Zest fully clean.
Oh, it's starting to look like Zest is gonna go core first. That means it's gonna be even later before he figures out that Byun's dropped that depot at his natural. He could have been building a Zealot this whole time. Now he knows, but Byun's already built it up as far as he wants to. The game's been out 10 years and this is still a terrifically annoying tactic. No Reaper for Byun again, he's going Marine. Oh, I don't think that probe wants to come back in the base. That's not a good call, the Marine's about to pop out. Oh, the probe tries to turn around, but Byun's SCV has the block. That's a first blood. It's early days, but Byun has to be happy with how this game's opening up. His orbital finishes, and he's gonna have the mineral lead. Better still, he's got the minerals to put down his command center. He's gonna be safe and build it up in his main, though. Zest does have a Zealot out, but it's busy going to work on that depot. Warp gate research underway, no tech choice for Protoss. Zest is just pooling minerals waiting to get his Nexus out. That has got to be so frustrating. Oh, Byun going for a second Rax and putting a reactor on his first one. And there's Rax number 3. It's that triple Rax build. It's gonna be bio until the cows come home. Depot falls. Byun actually got the cancel. Gets his 84 minerals back. And Zest finally gets to spend his money and put that Nexus down. Zest is making a Stalker, a unit that matches up well against unstimmed Marines. And there's our tech choice for Protoss. It's a Twilight Council. Oh, and the same annoying SCV that put down the depot is gonna get the scout on that Twilight Council. Zest must be furious. He so wants that thing dead. And Byun is just gonna extend its life to the last second possible. Will Zest change his tech? Nope, no, he's sticking with it. Meanwhile, the Terran Command Center is just about done. It's gonna lift off and head for the natural. Byun's about to go up to 7 Marines and he's comfortable knowing he can defend it. Double tech labs going down on those 2 additional Raxes. Usually a quick way to get stim and combat shields. Zest is getting all the bad news with his hallucinated Phoenix. Byun's Marines trying to cut it down, but Zest is outmaneuvering them. It might even just expire on its own. Workgate research is going to finish up for the Protoss. Stim is starting up for the Terran. Byun is now making Marines 4 at a time. Zest is going to get that forge. He was ahead on upgrades all last game. And he's hoping that trend will continue here. He's got a second gate up, and he adds his shield battery. He's got to be worried about a stim timing. The last thing the Phoenix saw, the Marines looked like they were heading out. That was a fake. They immediately doubled back. But I think Byun's going to get aggressive. He's not going to make a million Marines and just park him at home. Terran's picking up combat shields as well. Zest is getting Blink to go with his +1 attack. I like Blink Stalkers against Marines, but it's very easy for Byun to transition to Marauders when he's got double tech labs already. Oh, look at the placement on that factory. Byun's got a little nook there. I like that. Oh yeah, look at this. Double Marauder for the Terran. I don't know if he's thinking ahead to Stalkers or he's just looking to balance out his mass Marines. Either way, it's the right call. Byun looking so sharp in Game 2. Zest has gone up to 4 sentries. He knows he needs to play defensively. That lets him send out another Phoenix. And hopefully for him, it'll let him see that Byun is moving out. Yeah, he caught it. 16 Marines and 2 Marauders. If Zest can count, he's gonna see that Byun has almost double the army size of him. But rather than warping more units, he starts a 3rd base. That is dangerous, perhaps even irresponsible. Kids, do not try this at home unless you're a trained professional like Zest. He is clearly gambling to try to get back into this game. If he survives this, he can get himself an economic lead. But the if on that statement looms large. Byun's gonna push the ramp. Zest goes for the split with force fields. He gets the split, but Byun might have enough anyway. Byun focuses on the sentries. He's killed just about all of them. He has killed them all, and his units are slipping through the shield. Zest warps in 2 more Stalkers to save his game. He has to reveal the blink in order to keep them alive. He falls back to his shield battery where there's an overcharge. Byun should be going after the 3rd where he has vision. Fighting at the shield battery may have cost him, but he's not giving up. He's stimming his reinforcements to the battlefield. Zest blinks back to his shield batteries. Byun won't make the same mistake twice. He looks to be going home. Zest is actually going to chase him. Oh, it's a trick. Byun's going to trap him at the top of the ramp. Great blink away. Zest almost lost his entire army with that surprise. +1 is going to finish for Zest though. That's going to help him out. He's been chrono boosting that full time. Byun is getting +1 attack. He's also adding Medivacs. That's a key piece he needs to enhance his bio. And he's going to grab concussive shells for his Marauders. That'll really rip into the Stalkers. Zest has a Robo now. He's going to open with a quick Observer though. It only takes 21 seconds to squeeze out an Observer. And it can be super useful against Terran. Yeah, he's going to make a second one. He's also making a Gateway Explosion. He's got 5 of them. That's going to take him up to the ever-popular 8. He can support that. He's got his 3rd base up. Byun is just starting his 3rd, building it directly on the low ground. Terran's still got the way bigger army, but he's losing on economy now. Zest's gamble has paid off. Once Zest has his 8 gates, he can do some serious warp-ins. But the bio, now backed by Medivacs, is about to have +1. Oh, Byun's gonna multitask. He sends a small delegation to raid the 3rd base. The main force is going right up to the Reaper block position. He has vision with the Medivacs. He goes for the pylon. Zest has anticipated that, already working on the replacement. Losing the core will really hurt the Protoss, as will losing probes at his undefended 3rd. Byun spares a second to micro and the probes start dying even faster. Stalkers warping in for the save. The photon cannon is no help at all. It's been officially outmaneuvered. Meanwhile, Byun's main force is trying to force its way up the ramp. Zest is going to add an Immortal. That's going to make it a lot harder. Protoss gets to clean up at the 3rd, but has lost 8 probes. Zest Stalkers try to force away the Medivacs. You can't kill what you can't see. And the Stalkers blink forward to finish off the Marauders left behind. Remember, never leave a man behind does not apply if you don't have enough seating capacity in your Medivacs. I'm sorry, but we just can't have people standing in the aisles. It's against flight regulations. Zest starts +2 attack. Zealot Legs is almost done. And speaking of upgrades, Byun's gonna add a 2nd eBay and an armory. His 3rd is almost fully saturated. So really, Byun is almost caught up on economy, and Zest is almost caught up on army. Overall, it's still advantage Byun, but it's impressive. I thought Zest was a goner. But this game is far from decided. Byun's adding in Widow Mines from his factory, not tanks. He's going to try and stay mobile. Zest is going to add a second robo and a robotic support bay. He's going to try to tech up Colossi or Disruptor to deal with that mass bio. He needs some form of splash and there's no sign of a battle duck. I think we're going to see Colossi because he knows that Terran only wants to crank out medevacs from that starport. And without the presence of Vikings, Colossi can do a lot of damage to Terran bio. Byun goes right back to that Reaper bot position, but this time he's embedded Widow Mines. Zest is going to see them with his observer. He's not going to take the bait, but that's going to cost him his core and a gate. Yeah, he's sacking it. He's rebuilding his core further back. There goes the core, there goes the gate. Sometimes you gotta break a few eggs to make an omelet. An omelet of Protossian death. Now Byun's got this big army, but with no easy decision as to where to put it. Spoke too soon, he's gonna lift off, he's gonna try to boost for the main. Now he cautiously scans and pulls back. He didn't like the look of the charge lots waiting for him. Two of them were wearing eye patches and looked particularly nasty. Haha, Byun deduced or saw the observer. I think he figured out that Zest must have somehow seen him with the pickup. The observer might now be dead, but it was certainly worth its weight in gold. Byun's doing a tech upgrade of his own. He's got a Ghost Academy. He's cranking out the ghosts and he's researching enhanced shockwaves. It's an upgrade that gives you wider radius on your EMP shots. Byun strikes at the third. Zest is there. He's using his force field to dissect the Terran army. Very effective. Byun taking more losses than he needs to. And just like that, his larger army's not looking so hot. Fantastic force fields by Zest. And he's only got 2 sentries left to do this with. The first Colossi has arrived. The range upgrade is still in production. Byun's gonna stim forward but find a wall of immortals in front. A second Colossi joins in. Byun has 0 Vikings and 0 tanks. Those Colossi are gonna have their way here. You can brute force him with Marauders, but not when the Immortal Stalker count is that high. Byun has to tuck tail here, though he does purposely leave one parting gift in the form of a Widow Mine. Oh, Zest is on top of things. His Widow Mine's gonna pick that up. Oh, that's no fun. I had my zoom in already. Oh, and Zest has some knee blots trying to make some trouble at the third. And by trouble, I mean 11 dead SCVs. That's the real story here. Resource lead goes to Zest, as does the worker lead. And he's also finished up a Dark Shrine. Now he's warping in DTs. I'm a bit skeptical about that move though, just because Byun's defensive DTs is kind of legendary. But we all know that Zest can do nasty things with Dark Templar. Byun may be even on army size now, but that doesn't mean his aggression is gonna at all abate. Ah, Byun's adding a second starport. That's going to enable him to get Vikings without messing too much with his medevac development. And he needs that yesterday, because those Colossi are really putting pressure on his bio. And here come the disruptive DTs. Zest is probably timing this with his main attack. He's looking to do attention damage as he slips into the mineral line, and then his main army will pounce forward, taking a nice position outside that exposed third base. Triple Colossi dropping lasers on the SCVs. Byun's got a missile turret though. It doesn't just help keep out the DTs, it also pushes back the Colossi. The one at Byun's natural though is coming a little late. It's gonna cost him a scan. And in the meantime, Zest kills another round of SCVs. Zest is looking to spring forward with his main army. He triggers his stim out of Byun and then pulls back. The medevacs are getting depleted. They've been using their energy on the SCVs. But say what you want, Byun has held. He drops some EMPs on the Stalkers. And a shieldless Stalker is easy prey for a Marauder. Unless, of course, they blink away. I'd appreciate it if Zest would stop doing counterpoints to everything I say. I mean, it's a multifaceted game, people. Though I don't know why the Stalkers are attacking by themselves. I think Zest is just trying to get a little poke in. Maybe trigger some more premature stims. And then come in the Zealots. Yeah, Byun can't really heal his army anymore. That's going to be a problem. As is the fact that Zest is about to get +3. Byun's stuck on +1/+1. More DTs, more Colossi for Zest. Byun focusing on more Vikings. Oh, the Dark Templar are morphing into Archons. I wouldn't have anticipated that with Byun shooting off so many EMPs. But if they don't get EMP'd, they are going to have the hit points to screen against that bio so the Colossi can get right in there. Oh, SCV pulled for Byun. This could be it. He's pulling the boys 2 games in a row, though this one's kind of defensive. Kind of nothing. He's fighting for his life here. Zest is maxed out. Here's the clash. Who's got this? EMP hits the Stalkers. Stalkers blink forward to hit the Vikings. Colossus getting focused down. The Archons are pushing in. 23 dead SCVs. A huge Zealot warp in to reinforce. Zest is making another base. The Terran 3rd is undefended. Correction, the base formerly known as the Terran 3rd is undefended. It is gone. Income and upgrade advantage belong to Zest. There's the GG. That's the series. Zest cleans up. Zest is your winner. Unless, of course, you're rooting against him. Then he's somebody else's winner. So, Byun took the early game here, getting himself a shrewd lead right off the bat. But as soon as Byun comes at him with his decidedly larger army, rather than curl up behind his shield batteries, Zest decides to expand to a 3rd base and hold the Terran off with sentries and duct tape. Apparently that works now. I'm still kind of stunned because I really thought we should have gone to a game 3 here, but there's no doubt Zest clawed his way back and just mastered this game. Sometimes Zest is just a force of nature. Anyway, I just wanted to say thank you to all the recent new subscribers. I've had some technical difficulties and the rate of my videos have kind of slowed down. But you guys have just continued to support this channel with those subs and I remain grateful. So let me say thank you, and from my base to yours, Zugzwang out. To continue your Starcraft journey, Nova advises you to click the video in the upper rectangle. But Kerrigan warns you to watch your 6 and click the video in the bottom rectangle. Or you can stimpack your Starcraft experience. Subscribe to Zugzwang Starcraft. Just hit the circle. From my base to yours, Zugzwang out.